let's keep it going. Let's jump in and continue following along. See if I can remember exactly where we left off in the story. I think they're still trying to get into the other world that I don't remember the name of. They had like a very specific name. They were talking with demons? Question mark? That hurt? What happened to you? Are you dead? No, you're just mildly injured. Don't worry about it. It's fine. All right. So let's take stock. Figure out what's going on. Thought condenser is very real. This is kind of how we do just about everything at this point. Everything needs to be condensed. Oh, right. I have notes. Did I leave any notes for myself in terms of, like, this is what I was in the middle of? No, this is just a reference. All right, well, too bad. We tried. It was good while it lasted. So I have this idiot. Immovable, single-use, transient. They spread disease, so this has to be fought. Somebody's got to fight this idiot. Gwyndel's Vienels. Oh. Ah, rewards inspirations. We love inspirations. Infinite use? Infinite use, eh? I'm listening. It also has +1 notes. Interesting. Or memory, I think that one is called. Gift of the Moth. Right. So gifts are the level 1 version, and boons are the level 2 version? Have I made any boons? I think I've made boons and then immediately used them. Which is what the thought condenser has been about here. Alright. Not a lot of progress to whatever the next level of thing is over here. This is for leveling up. We have one of these lying around. That's great. We got healing stuff. We got some garbage? I don't know if this is garbage. This might be real, actually. Whatever this is. But there is a note just lying here. Moonfly extract. Task support +3. Whoa. Did I write this down? Nope. I wonder where it came from. Single use. Small ampoule of pale blue liquid. This fluid was drawn from the vitals of a moonfly larva. Do I know what a moonfly is? Oh, maybe I'll find out. Maybe I will ever find out what the heck is going on with this thing. That would be great. Daring mystics championed the use of this extract in their explorations of the mind. Okay. +3 here, huh? This item can provide inspirations. Okay. Good. Like the gift of the sloth, and the gift of the wren, and the gift of the firefly, and the gift of the boar. Oh, it's, fully exhausted is what I'm hearing. Okay, cool. +3. Dang, that's powerful. This I could probably merge like a blood vial and a gift of the snake. Is interesting. All right, what is... No direct harm. They spread disease. All right, well, we'll deal with that. Somebody's got to deal with that. I got to figure out what else I'm doing, though. What are my current priorities? Voltox draft. That's probably a thing that seems like a priority. Storage index. Voltox draft goes up to here. It's... Okay. The storage index. Ah, so this is my next set of plot things, I think. Is storage index is producing Voltox drafts. Okay. Is storage index on the list? Should it be on the list? That's actually a really good question. Maybe it should be on the list. does say it's unique and infinite use. For some value of infinite use, I'm sure. It is never obvious how infinite something is. But alright. We'll see what we get out of it. If we get something that's non-unique out of it, or that isn't obviously plot related, then we'll do something there. Alright. Evelyn Strain. Oh, it's an upgradable thing. We have an iron pail, which is better than a fishing rod, presumably. Yeah, that checks out. Curative algae, which I think just heals people, right? Cure infections and disease? That's cool. Okay, well, let's read this note and see if that triggers any memories. I had my final voyage last night, the culmination of my terrible visions. I was transported to an unearthly black desert, a terrible wasteland lit by the fevered rays of that burning moon. Burning moon? The land itself was strewn with grim lakes and wreathed in bright mists. Everything was vivid and cold. I could smell the pools and hear the discharge of static in the air. The moon filled the sky above, and I felt suffocated, crushed, as if underwater. Figures all composed of ethereal light flickered in and out of that realm, stumbling like automatons, lost pilgrims staggering across the barren land. It was too much, too much. I am quaking now with the memory. I am sealing my last ampoule here, along with the device I used to filter the extract. I will not go back. I cannot go back. We have other notes from Voltalk? I do. Okay. Take them to the archives where they might be safely hidden. Alright, so I guess we're following in Voltalk's footsteps here. Also, there are wax recordings. Yeah. Alright. Alright. We got some recordings to listen to. They require somebody capable of listening to things, which I think is exactly Vitaly. I think Vitaly is the only one who is capable of listening to things. Yes. Vitaly is the only one capable of listening to things. All right, Vitaly, go do it. I would like to get started on Voltalk's draft here. That seems like it would be a useful thing to open up. So let's send whoever else has mysteries, which is the good doctor, over there. I want someone to fight in the schoolroom. It doesn't matter who. So the next question is, what are we opening up? What are we working on? Leveling up the pail seems useful. So we could do like this. Right, it needs 2? That's 2. Okay, and then we'll send Atticus to fight the swarm. Atticus with his 0 injuries versus Aster with her 20 injuries. Yes. Send the less injured person to do the thing. Sounds great. All right, kids, I believe in you. Oh, this is quick. Great. Easy. Well, now what am I going to do with you? What other thing needs your attention? Should we start condensing some of these things? Some of these boons? Yeah, like I did over here, right? Boon of the Eagle. A condensation of intention and insight. A boon resulting from the combination of focus and concentration. A vision that lingers, a powerful source of inspiration. This is also a vision that lingers, but it is not a powerful source of inspiration. It is just a source of inspiration. The 7s that we need to account for are Machine Room. We need an 8 in here. Oh, that's what the Moonfly extract is for. understand. I understand. We could actually just do this now, can't we? Like, this is... Yeah, if we have somebody with a 3, which we do... Oh, yeah, do the thing. Heck yeah, that's a great idea. A cracked wooden goblet. The ancient wood is stained with whatever foul liquids it has contained over the years. It belonged to Irma Voltok and was used as the receptacle of her sacred wine and focus of her astral voyages. We could try and recreate those journeys, but must be aware that not all paths from here are safe ones. Ah, well, Atticus Hawk is definitely the person I'm sending into that. Does the game let you pet that cat? Yes. The cat moves around seemingly at random, but if the cat ends up in one of 3 task spots, then you can, in fact, pet the cat. That is an action that you can take. I think it restores your sanity, too. Like, I think it's actually a beneficial thing to do. Evelyn's strain has been upgraded. That's good. That's a thing that we wanted to do. This unlocked another fragment, which is a plot MacGuffin. As did this. Fantastic. Go, go, gadget plot MacGuffins. Y'all are doing great. This is probably going to be a plot MacGuffin. We can go fishing here, I guess. Do I have notes on what the iron pail produces? From the well house? Curative algae is what the iron pail produces, apparently. Which we already have lying around. So let's find out whether it does anything else. That's in progress. And Vitali and Kaligar, we gotta figure out what you idiots are doing. I think we're just listening to more wax recordings. Go, go, gadget plot device. And then we need to open up the archives here, which Kaligar cannot do, unfortunately. What are we making you do, then? Slime-coated bone. Well, that's fascinating. You're the only person who can do this, but you need a thing. All right. We need more things for the laboratory and for the machine room. How do I get... What is this? Substances? Substances. Or devices. I need improvements on substances or devices. Devices. Booster matrix comes from the archives. Okay. Oil bud comes from machine oil, which comes from the courtyard. No. Oil bud makes machine oil. But we don't have any oil buds lying around. But we can send someone digging with the simple trowel. You can do that. Okay. That's a good start. And then you can open up another wax recording. Fantastic. What's like the goal here? So overall, my team of 4 people are investigators sent to find out what happened to the people who were living at the mansion at Highrook. What we have determined at this point is that he had a title. It wasn't Lord or Marquess, but something like that. The person responsible for the lands at Highrook was investigating some eldritch stuff, portals to other dimensions, in order to try and force an outsider demon, they're not demons, but whatever they are, to heal his son. And things got significantly worse from there on. And now I think everybody is trapped in that alternate dimension thing. So we're trying to rescue them. Is one of my investigators going to betray me? So there's no me, I think. I'm just kind of a, like, RTS general. I'm not a specific person. I'm just kind of organizing things, and the people involved are just the investigators. Are they going to betray each other? Maybe. I don't know. They all seem pretty easy to predict. I don't think any of them are likely to betray anybody else. Nor do I think any of them are going to turn into a monster and force me to turn to page 43 to find out what the rules of that monster is. If that answers your question appropriately. Ritual offering. This is a thing that produces inspirations that I cared about. Okay, so the moment somebody frees up, we gotta get started on this ritual offering business. That was the other thing I wanted. Everybody's busy? I think everybody's busy. Would be a harder game if various team members disliked, worked against others, and you needed to juggle them in other ways. That's true. That would be an interesting level of difficulty. Some of them do dislike each other, but it doesn't prevent their ability to work. Archive Guide. A lesser vision. Through the mists of the moonfly haze, an echo from the goblet's previous owner. Irma Voltok's pale hand scratches a series of archives codes on a slip of vellum. We draw them out from the dream. Any guidance to the archive's convoluted storage is a welcome addition to our endeavor. Wow, that was not nearly as helpful as I was hoping it was going to be. Yeah, it's primarily narrative stuff. All of the disagreements are primarily like, it comes out in dialogues and in, you know, some of the reference materials and stuff, which I do appreciate. It's like I like the background and the story stuff. I was gonna make you do something specific. Something ritual offering? I don't think you can do that. You cannot do that. You can hit the electro lamp. You can... Roots is being used. Nothing to do in sensations. I don't think we need to hit the curative algae. Devices is otherwise occupied by this idiot. Paths? Field telescope? Is there more to do here? There might or might not be more to do here. I feel like we maxed out the field telescope. Do I need any of the things that I can get out of it? Catalytic powders plus substances. We're out of substance stuff. So yeah, all right, do that. Slumberfish, flicker fry out of the iron pail. Can get these things and these things, and maybe healing jelly. It's not clear. Yes, it is. It does seem a lot like that game, Hyphen. I don't disagree with you. It feels like it drew some inspiration from it, but also like the same places that that game is drawing inspiration from, this game is drawing inspiration from. While this is a much more streamlined experience. Like, this is telling a story, whereas that game is kind of more open and letting you explore and get yourself killed if you want. we need this opened up. I don't believe so, Hyphen, but this is only my first game of it, so I'm not sure. Aster can go into here and do storage index things. Although archive guide is interesting. I guess I could explicitly use the archive guide instead. Nope, it doesn't let me. Well, I guess it would if I pulled this out. Yeah. But let's not use up things if I don't have to. And now that I have this oil bud, I can do the thing with it that I wanted, which is turn it into a boost of some kind. Maybe we just send Dr. Caligar into the chapel, though, and get some of the influences out? I guess this is equally good. But the oil bud is much easier to work with. So maybe this is more important to do ahead of time. Yeah, alright, I'll buy it. Catalytic powder, excellent. And the catalytic powder is actually enough to do the bone with Caligar, which does things? I think that might be Caligar's, like, quest thing. But alright. Do I have food? I don't have food. We should cook the food. Get to it, buddy. The cat'll help, I'm sure. Could also turn the focus fern into something helpful as well. Another swarm? I hate these idiots. They just keep showing up. What jerks? Alright, we got a gift of the bee. Put this over here next to the healing dose. And we got a new gift of the firefly. The ritual offering definitely did the work here. Good job, that ritual offering. Also have an ember fungus to pop, so we should do that at some point. Lots of stuff to pop up here. Oil bud time? Plot? Maybe plot. Whatever this thing is. Sure. Worry about building up resources later. There's another draft. That goes there. You deal with this problem. And we've listened to all of the things. So that's good. More progress is being made there. I guess let's find out what's in the draft. You could do that. I believe in you. And now we have food should we need to eat. I guess I should pay some attention to what's going on up here. People are more insane than tired or hungry, it would seem. Wait, no, that's fatigue. People are more tired than insane or hungry. But not tired enough for me to care. Like, at some point, I'll go send them all to take a nap. But that's not a high priority, I don't think. Alright, the food is handled, which is good. What can you do now? What can you improve on here? I guess I can convert this into a boon. I don't know how relevant that is. But maybe. Maybe you can just go condense other things. Do I have other things that need condensing? What else needs condensing? Let's see. These are 7s. They need condensing in the machine room. We're not going into the machine room with the ember right there. Is that my only 7? This is a study 7. These things need condensing, but the study is in use. This is a 3, and I think if I wash this, it doesn't do anything anymore, actually. I think these are all blanks. But if they're blanks, let me just get rid of them? Sure, I'll spend my actions. For a game where action economy is probably the biggest bottleneck, I sure do seem to have a lot of spare actions. What did you do? Oh, you fought the thing. Good job. And now what are you doing with your time? You're fatigued. Is it time to take a nap? Maybe it's time to take a nap. We're hitting that 50% marker on some of these idiots. Yeah, alright. Time to go to sleep. Sometimes I wonder at myself. Would I want to be dragged from a grave to take part in some demonstration or display of knowledge? I have of course benefited from such disinterments, yet I begin to feel shame at pulling the fallen back into the light. I myself seek oblivion often enough to sympathize with the sanctity of burial. Wow. I wouldn't have expected an alcoholic to compare their drinking habit to the oblivion of the grave. But okay. If that's where you want to put yourself. More progress being made there. That's great. And once you finish washing this off, you can also join the others for napping. Yep, alright. So that was, in fact, blank as expected. Because I had already done all of the things in the previous chapter. We're in, like, chapter 9 or something like that? You've heard a lot of alcoholics say stuff like that. I guess there is a bit of a truism. You know, people drink to forget. Like, that's what drives them to the drinking, is trying to deal with some trauma. And if they could just forget that trauma and never have to think about that, or maybe anything else, then they would be happier. Doesn't seem healthy to me, but I'm not dealing with whatever trauma they're dealing with. Just seems a bit morbid, I guess, is all. Alright. Napping successful. Everybody is now not fatigued. We have done the thing. The toy donkey probably helped. Does anything else need to be upgraded? No. Every tool is at level 2, which is the highest level that tools get to. Alright, well, let's start. These are still not a thing that I can prioritize. But this can become an appropriate thing. So we'll send somebody with substances up to the laboratory. Flicker Fry become Glowing Flask, which is not important at the moment. Slumberfish becomes Stupor Soup, which also not important at the moment. Algae and Healing Jelly are fine, so we don't need to do anything at the well house. Digging? More storage index? More storage index, probably. So we're on lab and archives. Emberstone may be helpful. This is support. which could maybe... No, it's infinite use. This is kind of like a tool. Oh, interesting. It's a 1-point tool. How odd. And also works in the archives. Even odder. So I guess if I wanted to... Oh, not Atticus. Wrong idiot. Vitali. Vitali into the archives. Yeah, much better. I might just wait this Ember Wraith out and then send somebody into the machine room. Because that seems like one of the more beneficial things to be doing right now is opening up Sophia's blueprints. I guess there's also this eroded cartouche that needs to be opened up. So we can combine this charcoal and the Gift of the Owl. It's not the worst idea. And then what? Hit the electro lamp for no reason until we have something better for you to do? Do I feel like I've gotten everything out of the electro lamp that I can? Cellars. Maybe. Exotic spices. Scrubbing salts, which are not here for some reason. And ember fungus, which is currently out. Okay. Place the scrubbing salts, I guess. Sure. Alright, it's a deal. Everybody's ready to go. Good. Alright, this idiot's gone, which is great. What was up here that just disappeared? Uh-oh. Well, I hope that wasn't important. What? Day 19. A million things show up. Kalagar's got notes. Great. Everybody's got notes. Holy. It is only my training and experiences as a doctor that have allowed me to survive in this place. The others endure also, in their own ways. Education and experience are the tuning which makes a person survive. This is even true of Atticus. He might be a simple beast with limited pleasures, but I have seen him right, and I know he thinks more than his exterior might suggest. I doubt I will see him again after all this is done, but if I do, I will not be uncomfortable with such a meeting. Yeah, we have heard numerous now lines from Dr. Kalagar appreciating the specimen that is Atticus Hawk in a very, like, you know, he's not very smart, but he could be fun for a little while kind of way. Certainly not the first time we've seen that sentiment from Dr. Kalagar. Meanwhile, Aster, who has a huge crush on the lady of the manor, does not like Atticus. What is Atticus doing, creeping about in the corners of dark corridors late at night? I cross paths with him, but he does not speak, just grunts and moves on. Aster doesn't really like anybody here, actually. If anybody is going to become a monster and betray me, it's probably Aster. And what of Kalagar? She seems never to remove that mask, and it begins to stir thoughts in me that I have suppressed. Really? Tell me more about these thoughts. What does she really want here? Why are you into masks, Aster? Why does seem so interested? What? She. Why does she seem so interested in where things might be hidden or buried? Are you afraid she's going to dig something up, Aster? Something suppressed within you? The longer we spend here, Aster has not done any suppression, let's be real here. Aster is wearing her emotions on her sleeve. The longer we spend here, the more I realize that everyone, and not just Vitali, has some special and unhealthy interest in this place beyond the mission we've been charged with. Zero introspection in this paragraph, for the record. Speaking of special and unhealthy interests, maybe in the lady of the manor. It worries me. If we are all looking to other ambitions, what will become of the Acherons themselves? The focus of this whole investigation. That's the Crush talking. This is absolutely the Crush talking. This is new. Ah, it's a Caligar thing. Okay. Dear Caligar, once I heard you were part of the Highrook investigation, I had to write to you. A few years ago, I was sent to inoculate the Acheron boy. And while I was in their schoolroom, I saw something that made me take note. On one of the shelves was a human ribcage, mounted as if for biological study. What struck me, though, was the nameplate, identifying the owner as Oswald Kent, the very first victim of the Ashen Death. Considering your involvement, I felt that it was important to tell you this discovery, both as a colleague and a friend. Okay. Well, I guess, that's Caligar. Yo, what's up, Mark Mages? How's it going? Blueprints raid. Oh, that's appealing. I hope Blueprints is treating you well over there. What's up, Tails? What's up, Red Sail? How's it going? Yeah, I kind of want to go back over some of those VODs and see what your progress looks like. That game was a lot of fun to play through. But yes, welcome, Mark Magus and friends. This is the Horror at Highrook. We are doing eldritch card crafting things in an attempt to discover what happened at Highrook Manor. There are 46 rooms in this eldritch haunted manor? No, it's nowhere near that complex. A shame. I would love there to be, like, extra rooms in here. That would actually be really cool. Productive day of blueprints? Good, good. Days of blueprints ought to be productive. I think that would be generally a good idea. Have I finished / stopped playing? I got to the point where I was told that if I was going to progress any further, I'd be better off looking things up than trying to figure it out on my own. I probably want to go back and do, like, dare mode or curse mode stuff, because I think that's potentially interesting playing some of the alternate modes. But in terms of, like, my main save and trying to progress on whatever mysteries may be remaining, I am probably done. Still think I can do some more on my own? It's okay, yeah. I mean, there's probably some more stuff to look at, but I don't know. It's I mostly trust Hamu when he says that the stuff that's still in the game is stuff that is intended to be crowdsourced, as opposed to solved on their own. That's why you've not seen me play it for ages. I think you just missed the streams. The last Blueprint stream was last week, I think. Deeper one gets into the Blueprints iceberg, the more it required collective community involvement. Yeah, like I remember some of the deeper stuff in Fez. And that was, you know, very clearly not intended to be solved necessarily by a single person. And, you know, maybe somebody could, like, do all of those things. But, like, once they got to the point where it's like, okay, break out a spectrogram and look at, like, there was some, like, waveform analysis of something on the soundtrack that led to a puzzle solution. And I was like, okay, nah, enjoy. That's not for me anymore. Lot more clues for things than the people who look things up think. Yeah, that was yes, Fez is a different game, I agree. I don't know what the remaining stuff looks like in Blueprints, because I haven't looked it up yet. But all that's left, as near as I can tell, is Family Core stuff. And if that doesn't mean anything to you, then that's fine. But I don't know. I mean, there's like a couple of leads I can still pull on. But it's definitely at the point where I feel like I can't do anything in Blueprints unless I find one of a couple specific rooms in the run. And the overarching overall mystery is, not as ever present, I guess, at this point. It feels like there are not as many things that will lead to other things at this point in Blueprints for me. So on the fence about how much further I'm going to go. If I'm going to go any further, if I'm just going to look stuff up. But yeah, absolutely wild ride. And there's still, even if I don't proceed more in kind of the main puzzle line / lineage, there is still other stuff to do in the game if I want to go back to it. So yeah, everybody who looks at this game says the exact same thing, Mark Magus, which is the exact same thing that I said when I first started the game. It's a lot more streamlined than that game. It is not as open / roguelike. It is very much telling a story and requiring you to craft the tools necessary to continue the story, as opposed to giving you sort of an open, like, do whatever you want with these resources and build them up in whatever way appeals to you. But yeah, on a visual level, I agree with you. Very much agree with you. Especially considering that the horror theming is very similar. This is not a Weather Factory game. I don't remember who did this. Hang on, I'm going to look at the store page. Null Pointer Games and Outer Sloth is the publisher. I was reading a thing. I was going to read Atticus's note. Yeah, that's kind of how I felt about a lot of Weather Factory stuff. I feel the same way. It's a reason I have not mentioned the game that would not be named. All right, Atticus. Atticus left me a note also. Everybody left me notes today. Did Vitaly leave me a note? I don't see a Vitaly note. All right, everybody except Vitaly left me notes today. The doctor's done so much for us here. The others don't see it, but I do. We might even be dead without her. They're actually, like, very heavily teasing this, like, Caligari Atticus connection. I know my own work to keep them all fed and protected from the elements helps too, but there are skills which are beyond me. Skills that we all need in this hellhole. Wonder if I still write notes like this once I get out of this place. This experience will leave me a changed man, for certain. I was never much of a thinker, but it's hard not to brood in this place. Hard not to think about how life might have been different. I will lead a better life one day, and stop having to sell my muscle for jobs like this. But who will live that life with me? Oh. Wow, okay. It really feels like Caligari's looking for a one-night stand and Atticus is looking for a life partner, which is fascinating. I don't know how they're going to square that circle. All right, and then I got Verdun Record also, which showed up. Dear Mr. Vitaly. Oh. Vitaly and Vitaly alone. Unfortunately, we've been unable to locate any further Somnus Umbra seeds for you. However, while I was organizing our records, I came across a receipt for an old Order of the Colonels from a previous Highrook owner, Ms. Voltok. Ah, that's the mystery I'm currently working on. What a convenient coincidence. The note attached indicates that since Ms. Voltok did not rise before noon, the delivery was to be placed in the estate archives by her staff. Perhaps you can find it. The parcel will be stamped with our shop logo. Arborist Pilkin, Verdun Row. Okay. And that is more progress on Vitaly's personal quest as well. What was this doing? Each use of the ring's ability drains the other's vitality. Oh, I remember. I was use anywhere. I was trying to find dreams with it, I think. And it costs injury to use it. So, not going to be using it extensively anymore. In fact, it is going to sit in this corner until the game indicates to me that I need to do something with it. All right. Boon of the Owl. Thought Condenser did the thing. Good job, Thought Condenser. We got another Voltox draft. That's good. The storage index did the thing. Now we can do the Verdun record. The machine oil is present, which can be condensed. So let's condense that as my next task. And Caligari can look at the letter. Atticus, do a condense. I believe in you. We got some exotic spices. Ooh. add a pinch to add some punch. And scrubbing salts. Hello, grab the salts, thank you. Well, that was more than I expected. Exotic spices and scrubbing salts. Yes. Okay, no, I know both of those things. Great. But yeah, all of the crafting in this game is a lot more focused on the storyline that we're engaged with. So the goal of each chapter is to find all 9 of the pieces of whatever ritual that goes into here, and then once you've completed the ritual, you can perform the ritual, and that is another crack in the wall between this world and whatever world we're trying to break into. That name I don't remember. There's so much lore in this game. And there is a little bit of a similarity there in terms of like card, like task difficulty and aspects and whatever. But you kind of know what you're supposed to be doing at any point, rather than it being a lot more open and a lot more survival based. Also, the Senville Gazette is here. Intense smog causes choking epidemic. A mixture of wood smoke, coal fumes, and naturally occurring sea mist has combined to inflict a terrible plight upon Black Sands, with widespread bad breathing and choking reported. The mayor has asked people to stay in their homes and to only venture out with breathing apparatus or fine weave masks to stave off the worst of the hazard. The conditions are expected to lift when the weather brings fresh sea air into the region. If you are choking, you are advised to drink strongly salted hot water and convalesce in bed. Well, there you go. You heard it here first. If you're choking, you are advised to drink hot seawater and also go to sleep. Much lighter on resource management. Yes, that is the other thing. There is not a lot of time pressure in this game. And, like, everybody has, you know, these 4, like, hunger, tired, madness, fatigue, injury things. But they're real easy to manage. They go up very slowly and don't seem to affect the game very much. I have been, once something crosses the 50% line, I've been addressing it. And otherwise, it's been not that big of a deal. All right. You can't do this. It's only Vitaly and Kaligar that have mysteries. Okay, well, let's send somebody else up there then. But I want to manage the personal stuff first, and then we'll go into whatever this thing is. So you, between the 2 of you, what else needs addressing? Something here? I did want to turn the ember fungus into a thing. You have substances? Heck yeah. Yep, perfect. All right. Yet another set of tasks about to be completed. Ember liquid, appropriate. Boon of the monkey, great. Old parcel. A faded package recovered from the estate's archives. Its oiled paper has started to crack and split. Something rattles faintly within. The faded brand of Verdun Row is still visible on the mottled wrapping. Okay, well, that's Vitaly's job. I made a thing. Ah, we found a ribcage. The torso of the first victim of the Ashbone Plague. Kaligar reads such remnants as others might read a book. We also found this mummified limb. So all of this stuff is eventually going to go into the composer as part of Kaligar's storyline. So that's cool. We ate the influence in schoolroom. Can I make another one of those? Do I need to? This thought has been condensed, which is great news. That allows me to pop open another of Sophia's blueprints. Only usable by Aster, though. So let's make Aster do it, wherever she's gone. here. Yeah, this is Vitaly. This is Aster. Do the thing. I'm gonna restore some of these boons. How else can I get boons? Whichever boons I'm missing. This thing is probably blank, the eroded cartouche. I think that was last chapter's thing. We just had extras of it. Ah, there's another Pestilent Swarm. Okay, so, one of you two needs to handle the Pestilent Swarm, which is going to be Atticus. You can deal with that. And Dr. Kaligar, what are we going to do with you? Incantations, sensations, roots, dreams, substances, or mysteries. Substances? We certainly don't need you to be messing around with the syringe. I guess we could turn the healing sprig into another healing potion? I'm into that. Something to do. Yeah! Deal with that disease, idiot. Good job, Atticus. You're great. You're great. Maybe let's do some more condensing if we're out of other things to do. This feels like a thing to condense. I don't know where else we need to condense. Because I think all the rest of the 7s we've dealt with already. There were some other 7s out here. But now the only 7 that matters is in the machine room. Unless I want to do something with this cartouche, but I think it's blanked. Also, we have the boon ready, so I don't need to condense over there. Alright, cool. Weird junk. The weird junk is broken, but whatever it did remains flickering in the air all around it. Okay, so that's done. That's gone. That is... I guess that means that Sophia's blueprint is also blanked. Like, we have progressed past it without me realizing it. That might have happened. Dry seed. A small teal kernel, no larger than a fingernail. Its surface is creased like the waves of a shallow bay. Ah, Vitaly's gotta go take some hallucinogens. Old seed. With the exact same description. I love that. Alright. Go hallucinate, I guess, buddy. You can go back to opening up Voltox drafts. Aster can turn this Ember Stone into a... another influence for the Forge, right? Task support item, inspiration? Yeah, sure. Get rid of it. We need more stuff for the machine room is actually what we need. Well, I guess if I think that Sophia's blueprint is blank, then maybe not. Because I think that was actually part of the last chapter, not whatever's going on with this chapter. So maybe, yeah, you've got memories. So we could probably have you work on the storage index some more. I'm going to let time progress a little bit so it doesn't overlap with this Voltox draft, just in case that's what it's doing. They're max 3 anyway, it would have been fine. Oh, there's a letter from Verdun. Dear Ms. Voltok, thank you for your order. Included in this parcel are 2 Somnus Umbra seeds. They are fully desiccated and should last for years, if not decades, in their dry form. If you are to use them for therapeutic aid, we advise rehydrating the kernels in a cup of hot water and drinking the solution. Consuming the seeds independently would likely cause a more intense and potentially dangerous effect. And Vitaly is like, okay, Dangerous effect it is. Boon of the horse. Not firefly, huh? Why horse? Is there a gift of the horse that I was missing? That's weird. Because this is the same animal. Yeah, right, Cryptomancer? That's exactly where Vitaly is going. This is a man who knows no boundaries, no limits, especially not ones that might come at the cost of his own health. Where can we get more machine room inspirations? More devices. Here. We're already dreaming. Not that we can dream of the thing correct. No, we're not dreaming. We're doing seed stuff, but that's off the table for right now. We can pop another oil bud, or we can go into the archives. Well, archives are occupied, so courtyard it is. Yeah, all right. Keep going. A fading fragment. Nothing? Terrible news. Dream Tower. The dream of a tower. Isolated on a cold coastline, someone watches from within its tiny black windows. Perhaps this is the place I am looking for, but I am torn from the vision with a start. As I rise, the dream begins to fade. Oh, okay. Well, let's chew a different seed, then. This healing dose is good for later, not relevant immediately. This garbage can just get out of my way. You're doing the thing. There's another Voltox draft. Try again. Although I'm kind of thinking that maybe Voltox drafts isn't going to do anything. But there's 3 more things. Concerning. I guess for lack of anything better to do... Oh, Vitaly's report. In my dream, I stood within a small boat, approaching an isle. Tall and impenetrable conifers, as black as night, looming against cliffs of pale stone. The cliffs were like broken bones jutting out of the motionless lake. A dark tower marks the horizon. I saw someone within its crooked arches. Ella? All was silent. Even the oars made no sound. I believe this place to be the Isle of the Dead, the very gateway to the realm I seek. Perhaps next time I might find a way to knock, to pass through, to see her once more. Right, I had almost forgotten. Our boy Scholar Vitaly here is desperately chasing a way to see his dead wife, Ella, and he believes that he saw her in his dream. So now he is chasing more and more intensely hallucinogenic drugs in order to have the same dream again. Another healing sprig. That doesn't help yet because healing doses are max 2. But the oil bud helps. The end of the dream. Complete the side quest for Scholar Vitaly. Oh. Okay. I now know that the land of the dead can be reached, and so my lost fiancée, my dear Ella, can also be found. Fiancé, not wife. Okay. But in this place and in these dreams, I finally spoke to my love again. This discovery, this knowledge that I shall be able to reach her, even in life, I can barely stand to put it into words. The feelings defy recording. I will keep searching in sleep and find that glade again, for I must etch the path there into my mind. For someday I too will pass into that land beyond life, and we might join hands once more. Dream glade. There she was, in a glade. Between us ran a stream, with water moths chasing light over the slow water. I could not cross, and nor could she, but we could speak. Oh, Ella, finally. And one day forever. Even though this dream might fade, its imprint will remain, and I will return. Jeez. Right, well, some people were just born to die. I guess that's where Vitaly's at. At least he's not chasing his own death. I think. I could be wrong. We have more fragments here. So, that definitely concludes my interest in the storage index, I think. Unless I use the archive guide? I should try that, actually. I should try using the archive guide explicitly. Since the other reports that we've gotten from here haven't been particularly helpful. Got another healing dose? Maybe I just traded it weirdly. I don't know what happened there. You can pop this cartouche, I guess. Although I know this is not going to give me anything relevant. And Vitaly, what are you going to do with your time? Sure. I don't have the well inspiration. Rec not met. Excuse you? Oh, because I took the primer out. Yep. Yep, correct. I understand. Bolero Complete Unraveled for orchestra and kazoos. Okay. One, it's hilarious. Sure. It's arranged by Sandra Boynton. I feel like I recognize that name, but I don't know why I recognize that name. Would you like to provide me some context with who Sandra Boynton is? What are you doing with your time, Vitaly? Nothing? Stone nothing? Comic artist, cute animals, hippo birdie. I might need to Google it. And apparently kazoo arrangements. Apparently. Where else can you go? Secrets? Incantations? Songs? Dreams? None of these things seem particularly helpful. I bet you could smoke a pipe about it, though. Maybe I will turn some influences into more powerful influences. Maybe we'll condense some thoughts. That's probably helpful and productive. Expect I would recognize her style immediately? I believe that. That seems not uncommon. We can still pop that Emberstone, I guess. It's a thing that needs to happen at some point. Uh-oh. Another Pestilent Swarm. Alright, that's Atticus's job. Boon of the Bat. Great. Alright, that deleted the thing and gave us yet another Voltox drafts, which is probably blank. As have all of the Voltox drafts been blank in recent memory. But, you know, whatever. deal with the swarms. Somebody has to. Might as well be you. This can go back up here so somebody can investigate the Villanelles? Alright, I'm Googling that word. I need to know whether or not the L's are actually pronounced.
Villanelle.
Alright. Thank you, Webster's Online. Alright, so where is my plot hidden? You have a similar reaction wherever you see the word I'm assuming the L's are pronounced in this word also. Carillon? Carry on? I don't think I know the word, actually. I don't know what that is. What needs to be done still? Guess we could try cracking Sophia's blueprint again. Bunch of bells you can play a tune on. Oh, okay. This is for leveling up, but we need a lot more power for anybody to level up at this point. Between the two of you, somebody needs to do something in the study. Although the drafts have not seemed to be particularly productive lately. What else am I looking for? I've done all of the character-specific plots so far. Where else do I think I'm gonna find something? If we're looking for more of Voltok's stuff... The archives does not seem to be particularly productive. And we can't do anything else with Voltok's goblet unless we find more of whatever her solution thing was. Because the most I can get to in the dining room is 7 without the 3 that we already popped. I don't know where those come from, though. Moonfly extract? It feels like it was a unique thing, but... something in the machine room. Maybe there was like a secret cache that we opened? Carolyn? Sure. Well, I guess one of you can open this thing in the study, and the other of you can probably try and generate whatever inspiration we're missing in the machine room. Where do I get devices inspirations? Booster matrix is either the library codex or archives key. Probably archives key. That looks like it has more other interesting things in there. Yeah, all right. There you go. Go do the thing. All right, before we go any further here, though, I think I am going to take my usual stream break and refill water, go to the bathroom, stretch legs, etc. And then when I come back, the non-stop card crafting action will continue. You disagree with my pronunciation of unraveled? We're gonna continue this when I get back. Oh. You mean because of the single L? So it's a different word than I think it is. In that case, I don't know what word it is. We're definitely going to continue this conversation when I get back. To continue the conversation that dogged me during the break. The problem, you see, the problem is that I'm not cultured enough to get the joke until somebody explains it to me. And then, like, yeah, I can get the joke. I can pronounce unraveled correctly. But I didn't actually get it until that was done, until people told me about the thing. Mechanist Aster is diseased. Uh-oh. I knew it would happen soon enough. Such clouds of contagion were bound to infect us at some point. Caligar searches through her medical bag. Unfortunately, I have no remedy in my supplies. But we can concoct a solution here. I saw a glint of Palmer's algae in the well. If we could collect a bucketful, we could boil it up into a cure. Ah, well then, let's do the cure thing. Can you cure? Please cure. Requires 3, Aster has 3, perfect. Solve this, okay, diseased. An otherworldly malady has afflicted this character. They will suffer injury each hour. This issue could spread to nearby companions. Well, I hope it doesn't spread to the cat. Gosh. You don't have to apologize for making jokes I don't get. You're willing to explain them, so then I can get them. Then I can be brought into the joke. Everything is fine. Somebody else finished the thing. Ah, the Ember Shards. The Ember Shards are ready. What are you going to be doing with your time, Atticus? Where else is the plot? What happened here? Why is the storage index not giving me more plot? Maybe we'll find out if this Voltox Drafts gives me more plot. But I feel like I am missing a whole significant thread here. Is there something in the records that happened recently that I should know about? What happened recently? Verdant stuff is not plot. Echo of the past? Seeker's record? Finally obtained the ceremonial goblet. There was the goblet. How did I get the thing out of the goblet? Visions of Nibiru. Ah, Nibiru! That's the name of the other world. Voltox notes. I guess reading through Voltox notes is maybe a good way to do it. No longer using the phonograph to journal my reflections of the Moonfly experiments. Where did I get that Moonfly extract? Did you mention the location of the Moonfly stuff? Take them to the archives where they might be safely hidden. Well, I think we got 3 pieces of the ritual out of the records. And I think we got 3 pieces of the ritual out of Voltox Drafts. Which means I am missing the remaining 3 pieces of the ritual because there is another plot line that I haven't pulled on yet. Or maybe that hasn't shown up. Maybe it takes another day cycle. I'm not... Not sure what else I might be missing. We got all of Vitali's reports. That's great. Venatus? Sure. Verdant is the seeds for Vitali, so that Vitali can have dreams of the afterlife. Choking epidemic. Is that related? The notes, I think, Voltok's notes are related. But the individual people's notes is just like, time is passing. That's not a thing. Senville Gazette? Did I think there was something else to do with in the cliff top? Because we've had the field telescope for a while. And I didn't see any other new tasks for there. This is probably not enough to assemble the entire skeleton. But I suppose I'm willing to try. I wasn't expecting that to work. Alright, that completed a side quest, I guess. A bag of bones. A cloth-bound collection of withered limbs and body parts. The first victim of the Ash Plague has been collected by Dr. Caligar. The remnants of this mysterious victim might still offer hope for a cure when returned to Cane Cross Yard. And that we just sit on this. Is that what I am given to believe? I have the bulk of the cadaver, but not yet all the answers. When we leave this place, I shall take it with me and back to the laboratory. Then, perhaps belatedly, I can right the wrong of the past and create a defense against the Ash Plague. Should it ever come again to Black Sands and the surrounding islands, we might be protected. Our time at Highrook has been horrifying, but perhaps yet some good can come of it. I shall leave here with a far finer caliber of knowledge than which I entered. Okay. So that is, a resolved side quest. So that's cool. 2 fully resolved side quests. That's great. That's progress. Probably. We need something for Atticus to do while we're waiting for other stuff to finish. I guess maybe go back to the cliff top. I don't think this is going to do anything, but we'll give it a shot. Or maybe go digging for stuff? We're digging for stuff. I feel like there's stuff here that is useful. Inspiring text. Okay. And the booster matrix, which was a thing I was looking for. Yeah, this is blank. Okay. So it definitely feels like the storage index and associated things are just blanks now. Which means I don't really know where to go from here. Is it the Iron Pail? Is it this thing? Has anybody done this thing? I don't think anybody has done that thing. How about you try and do this thing? And you can... I don't know, man. Condense these two, I guess. Aw, really? Alright, go digging. Go find some more stuff. This injury is just gonna climb and climb and climb until we get this figured out. It's just bad timing. Gift of the Mule. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah. The healing jelly is definitely gone at this point. Gift of the Mule can hang out here. We could even condense these if we wanted. What else does this produce? We have the rat. We have the wren. So that doesn't matter. That's done. What is in the inspiring text? Eagle. Moth. And mole. That's done. Unless I want to condense here. Not that I could do that immediately. Condensing is already in progress. What else can you do with your time? Nothing? Stone nothing. Hit secrets to see if anything else comes out of here? Sure. Ritual offering. Oh, this is worth popping, though. By somebody that is not Atticus. Because not Atticus. Atticus is incapable of doing the thing. We'll put the fishing rod down here. I don't think we're going to need the fishing rod now that we have the iron pail. Which, like, that's not usually how wells work. But, okay. Apparently you can pull up fish with the iron pail the same way as if you went fishing for them. Incredibly powerful pail, to be honest. Did we hit the courtyard again? What are you doing with your time, Atticus Hawk? Nothing? Just sitting around? Petting the cat? The cat cannot be pet at the moment. Where can if the cat goes to the guest rooms or the dining rooms or the kitchen, the cat can be pet. Alas, the cat is not in any of those places. Regret. This can be condensed. No, condenser's in use. You can just sit there and do nothing, I guess. Just waste your time. That sounds great. Can you send me a joke through mail? I don't know. Can you? Post it to the Discord. I'm sure other people like jokes too. Never mind, you wouldn't get it. That's the joke. That's the joke. Joke definitely happened. Thank you for the joke. Here, you can do the ritual offering. Yeah? Heck yeah. Get offered. Right, now we have some curative algae. As well as a rusted rondel. Fascinating. What appears to be a large rusty nail is in fact a merchant's sidearm. The flakes of rust and scabrous corrosion could be removed if one wanted to uncover the true value of this piece. But only Atticus can do so. And Atticus is going to need additional help to do so. Alright, we need substance power. Chemical worksheet from the Archives Library Codex. Catalytic powder, which we have. Raven's cap from Gift of the Bee. Oh no, Raven's cap produces Gift of the Bee. Do we not have any other way to produce Gift of the Bee? We might get it out of the ritual offering if we're lucky. Anyway, start doing the thing there. But this can stay there for now. So that's a nice find, actually. Good haul out of the iron pail. Nope. It was Toad, which is cool. And Firefly. Yeah, it's Gift of the Firefly and Boon of the Horse, for whatever reason. Where did I get that ritual offering from? Ritual offering comes from the Rusty Shovel. Okay. Go get me another one of those then. You can do it. I believe in you. Is that what I want? There was something else I wanted to do. I wanted to get stuff for the laboratory. Yes, this is the correct order of things. Hello, Stokes. You're not necessary, but thank you. Boon of the Sloth. Heck yeah. Get those thoughts condensed. I am once again imploring Atticus to find something useful to do. Oh, hard life. Sure, go digging in the cellars again. Cleansing tonic. A thick medicinal syrup. This potent balm is full of tiny bubbles trailing lazily through the liquid. It tastes awful, but can rapidly cure most infections. Yeah, please do that, actually. Cure this disease. Indeed. Alright, so the curative algae from fishing from the well house becomes cleansing tonic. Cure disease. Flicker fry, we already know, becomes the glowing flask. I think. Yes. Which is plus secrets. Slumberfish becomes stupor soup, which has been consumed. Ah, so we could turn the fish into more soup. That's a thing that somebody could do. If somebody was interested in the fish. Where did the fish go? Is it gone? There is no more fish. We have to go fishing again. Alright, somebody can figure that out later. What is this? Dreams? Dreams. Stupor soup. I'm gonna make sure that all of my notes are fully caught up. Plus dreams. Healing jelly. Heals injuries. To some degree. I haven't checked how much of a degree that heals the injuries. This is only Atticus. So Atticus could have done this thing. No, Stokes doesn't help there. Stokes helps one of these two places. So we needed one more thing for the laboratory. That was the problem. We needed more laboratory. Mechanist notebook. Mechanist notebook appears to have disappeared. No, I don't think I got anything non-unique out of it. There was never anything to do in here. Yup. Nice try. Still not useful. Curative algae becomes cleansing tonic. Which cures diseases. Another ritual offering, that's great. Booster matrix, that's great. Chemical workshop, worksheet, that's also great. Found some more herbs. We love herbs. Probably. We probably love herbs. The ritual offering here can also be popped. While Aster is working on her thing. What are you doing with your time? We gotta get Atticus into here. I think it's ready, though. Requires 4. Oh, so we need to condense, actually. These need to be condensed. Vitali, go do some condensing. Yeah, a 4 when Atticus has no substance skills requires 2 2s. And you can do what? What are you doing with your time, Dr. Caligar? Pop the ritual offering? Sure. Uh-oh. It's a jerk. We found a jerk. Mechanist Aster is cured. Good. Deal with the jerk. Maybe let somebody else deal with the jerk. Maybe go fishing first. You can wait until the laboratory work is done. Gift of the Owl. And Gift of the Bee. Alright, well, it can only move up there once that's done. So I guess you can deal with this. Not diseased. Excellent. The electro lamp is fully resolved. So if I go here, I could put this little asterisk here to let me know that anything that I could get out of it, I have gotten out of it. Which is great. That's good news. Probably. It's probably good news. You're doing a thing. You're doing a thing. You finished doing the thing. So now you could do a different thing. And what thing should that be? Yo, Hawk is, Hawk needs a nap. Everybody needs a nap. Dang. Okay, we're gonna send people to go take a nap. I thought we had taken a nap relatively recently, but I suppose fatigue just stacks up. You can also go to the nap room. Everybody naps. All right. We have a gift of the monkey to go along with my boon of the monkey. We didn't get any curative algae, so we need to go fishing some more. Atticus can handle the thing now. The rondel. Great. And Gift of the Bee can take its pride of place in laboratory. And we're going to need more laboratory things now that we're popping the boon. Substances. Show me substances. Why don't I have this sorted alphabetically? I guess I could still. Archives, Library, Codex. And Caligar. Has it been 2 days since the last time people ate in this house? And nobody cares? Nobody's hungry? Hunger builds real slow. And it feels like fatigue builds, you know, over the course of a day like it should. Also, I don't know where plot has gone. Where did the plot go? What do I do for plot? Maybe it'll let me know once the day ticks over. Once we get to whatever the next day is. You're still alcoholic? Come on, buddy. You have gone like 18 days without a drink. You should either be cured or deep in the DTs right now. Neither of which seems to have happened. Injuries are mostly okay. Madness also mostly okay. We cannot cook the flicker fry. We can cook the slumberfish. Not you, though. Somebody else can cook the slumberfish. I don't need to burn my boon of the boar just to cook a slumberfish. Wait, why is it burning the boon of the boar when it could be burning the exotic spices instead? Why is it prioritizing using the double one? That's curious. Curiouser and curiouser. There's nothing to do. Go digging, I guess. I don't know. Do something. Wait. Forgot to do this. Haha. Alright, now we're good. Day 20. And? Did anything show up? No, no plot hooks? Infinite use. Yeah, but like 8, though. 8's a lot to commit to. Moonfly larva. Oh. This is the thing we're supposed to be doing. Okay. Alright, this Atticus can get rid of, so get rid of it. The delicate blade of this piercing knife would have remained hidden in the seams of cloaks and boots, but now restored, the masterwork of its construction proves it to be more a symbol of status than a tool of defense. This reclaimed weapon is now ready for delivery. Alright, do it. The moonfly larva can be substanced, so I guess that's going to be Dr. Kalagar's job. Yep. Great. Curative algae can be turned into something. It's good that we found the algae. Let's do that first. And then Scholar Vitali can figure out what else he's doing on his own time, I suppose. Stokes is back. What's up, Stokes? Pop the ritual offering? Do we have it? It would be... We have owl. We have toad. We have rat. We have firefly. We have moth. Okay, the ritual does not need to be popped. It can stay here. It can just sit. I guess we could condense like a blood vial and a gift into something over here. And that's maybe productive. Something to do. Yeah, Aster is in high demand right now. Maybe Aster shouldn't be doing the cooking. The pointy end. Complete the side quest for Atticus Hawk. Okay, great. Yeah, you need to be doing this. More moonfly extract. Ah, that's where moonfly extract comes from. And it is very clearly plot related. Somebody needs to be drinking from the goblet. It could be Atticus. Cleansing tonic goes here with all of the rest of the problem-solving devices. I do want to cook this slumberfish, just so it's been cooked. I guess we could do that. Do you have substances? You do have sensations. Yeah. All right. You drink from the goblet. Let's see if that goes well for you. Boon of the Snake. Good. Oh, it took 2 blood vials. What? That's not what I wanted. That's my mistake. I positioned things weirdly. I guess we can... Yeah, your injury is low enough. Let's draw some blood. Can you? You can, thanks to Kittle's scope. With the power of a microscope, you can draw your own blood. I don't ask questions. I just accept. There's another moonfly larva. To be turned into whatever this thing is. Oh, okay. Piece of the puzzle. What do you suppose this goes? Does that fit there? I'm not sure that fits there. I'm not sure where else that would fit, though. Fascinating. That did not result in any more obvious plot thing. That goes there. But overall, that went well, I think. And we'll do so get with the crap. Dear A, you did it. My buyer is over the moon. You never expected to see a full quartet of those knives on this side of the ocean. But here you are like some foxhound, sniffing them all out. Come round to the den as soon as you get back in town. The contact wants to pay you direct. I've already got my fee. And I reckon you can safely book yourself a carriage there and back. Going to be rolling in coin for a while, my friend. Maybe you can buy me a drink to celebrate. Cool. That is 3 of 4 side quests complete. Heck yeah. We've got the larva. Pale aquatic nymph, the juvenile form of the moonfly. One day this grub will be a beautiful nocturnal invertebrate, glittering under the stars. For now, its ugly immature form coils and roils in the shadows of the well. More adventurous apothecaries claim that the larva holds toxins that can give rise to powerful visions, and it is rumored that its extract was used to instill fake madness by poisoners and con artists. Oh. Okay. Alright, so while we're waiting for this to finish, what else am I doing with my time? Cleansing tonic is max 2, so we can turn this into another cleansing tonic. The ritual offering is fully occupied. Oh, don't need to pop it yet. I'm making another blood vial for reasons. Feels like there's nothing to do here. All right. All right, so now we can turn the moonfly larva into something worthwhile. And that can be either Caligar or Aster, but Aster is required at the well, so it's going to be Caligar. Max 1. This is fine. I'm going to allow time to advance a little bit so that this can fish up this once it gets popped by the laboratory. And Vitali can just sit and do nothing. Sure. Can I get anything out of the archives at this point, actually? Archives. What do you give me? Booster Matrix, we have one lying around. Tracker's Guide, we have one lying around. We don't have a Tracker's Guide lying around. Can I get that out of the archives key or only out of the library codex? Unclear. Let's try the library. Let's try the archives key and find out. It'll be something for Vitali to do. All right. We're now good on cleansing tonics. There's another moonfly larva. Somebody can go drinking. And that somebody is probably Atticus. Yep. Start that. Pause, unpause. Start that. Pause, unpause. Start that. And the archives key did not get me the thing I was looking for. So we'll go to the library codex. This whole thing is so gross. Like, we have to use this goblet specifically, and This is like the same goblet that Voltok used with her experiments with Moonfly extract decades ago. And the thing is like stained by, you know, whatever other hallucinogens she's put into it. The things people will do for knowledge. Never clean? Of course not. You can't clean it. Then you lose the patina or the what is it that people say about like iron their cast iron cookware, that you don't have the flavors from all of the previous whatever it is you. I don't know, man. I'm not a cookist. That gave me an archive guide, a lesser vision. Which, that's great, but that's not helpful. So let's do it again. Seasoning. Yeah, absolutely. I didn't end up with another of the things, though. We just got curative algae and an extra slumberfish. We need more moonflies. Make me more moonflies. This time I did get the tracker's guide. I was thinking of patina. I mean, I know what a patina is, mostly. But yes, seasoning is what I was thinking of. Which is separate from patina. Although maybe seasoning is a patina. The thing about not using soap on cast iron is apparently BS. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. People come up with the craziest things. Oh, there's the larva. I did get the larva. Okay, good. We'll turn that larva into something more useful. The issue is if you use lye to clean your pans. Yeah, nobody uses lye for anything anymore. I mean, maybe they do in, like, Missouri, Alabama. They can't afford soap. And you're just gonna sit here and be useless? Gonna do something in the storage index, I guess? Try the storage index one more time. Whatever. Got nothing better to do. Burn that archive guide. Something happened. Oh, Mr. Tubbs moved to the courtyard. Thanks, Mr. Tubbs. Uh-oh. All right. That's looking a little better. That is looking relevant to my interests. This could be here, actually. Yeah, I think that's right. So here is a moonfly extract. Here is a moonfly larva to extract from. Can I reorder this in such a way that somebody can do something here in the clifftop? I think that has to be Mechanist Aster. But also, I think this is going to supply me with the last thing I need, so I think we can afford to just do this. So clear that up. Drink this. Maybe do something relevant there. And we'll figure out that Voltox drafts are useless, but we might as well just pop it so it's not taking up space. Great. No disease? You'll love to see it. Is there an intermediate step with lye? Is that how it works? Like you turn lye into soap and then use the soap to clean things? As opposed to using the lye to clean things directly? This is yet another thing that I'm not cultured enough to know exactly the process for it. Mechanist Aster, do you not have anything better to do with your time? Afraid maybe they don't. We're probably going to need to combine things in the cellar. So combine things in the cellar. And then maybe I can eventually do something with Flicker Fry. Here. Just, you know, condense. Improve. Do something. Be productive. Where is... Oh, he's... Okay, everybody's doing things. Yeah, this is useless. Which is good. This can stay here and stay useless. You can drink about it. I don't know what you're doing anymore. I guess turn the Ember Fungus into something. Oh, you could have condensed. Well, not directly. You can... Storage index has nothing for me anymore. I'm just going to leave it out here. Next to this Bulldog Pipe. Which I imagine I might use eventually, but not in the near future. As much as you learned from Fight Club and Dwarf Fortress. Fair enough. Fair enough. There's a variety of sources of information, sure. What are you doing? What are you doing with your life, buddy? Being tired? Maybe we'll start a nap. Maybe it's nap time. Atticus Hawk is close to madness. Really? I have to investigate something? What do I have to investigate? I've been lied to. I'm not going to put it in yet, though, because I want people to nap here. And then maybe I want to deal with this madness business. Sleep is restorative. It does not fix madness, though. Conditions. Almost insane. When characters go insane, they will behave erratically. Well, I know how to fix insanity. The way you fix insanity is with moonshine. Apparently. Where'd the cat go? If the cat was in the right place, then the cat could help me fix insanity too. But I guess that's not what's happening. So instead, we'll just give everybody something to drink. They can split a bottle of moonshine amongst the 4 of them, which will definitely help Dr. Caligara's alcoholism. Maybe Dr. Caligara should not partake. But in that case, Dr. Caligara is just going to go even more insane. Alas, it is for the good of the team. Look at that. That's rad. All right, so we've reached... I guess I finally reached the point where the game warns me that the vital has gotten too high or too low or whatever direction these things move, which is at the 75% mark. So that's when things start getting dangerous. That's when you need to clear up whatever issue is being created. 75%. I've been doing it at 50 out of an overabundance of caution. But I guess 75% is what I should be watching for. And the game does warn me at that point, which is nice. Ooh, okay. Okay, so now we have a firm number for the amount that it clears, which is exactly 75%. Since it dropped his madness to 2 instead of clearing it fully. Moonshine. Show me moonshine. No? Rude. It's right there. It clears 70%. 75%. Presumably everything clears 75%. Like the meals and the ration boxes presumably also work in the same way. Do we want to give everybody a meal? Maybe just eat? We might as well clear the rest of these concerns, except for injury. This thing has been sitting around for 48 hours and nobody has eaten that entire time. But yeah, let's clear the rest of their needs. So now everybody is missing only injury and a little bit of fatigue. And Atticus is still like a little bit mad, but not like a lot mad. All right. And then we can progress plot. The Burning Moon. A right to break the threshold of the fourth circle. An artery to the heart of Nibiru. The eye, the chalice, the hammer. Mark their rings like ripples in the still pond of time. And in the center, a final circle, bitten at the edge, a waxing moon. Scribe its influence in scored lines of light, in curves of sacred geometry. An atomic astrolabe, its extents piercing between worlds. Stand on the moon, face its offspring, call their names in turn. The children of the perihelion, the nomads of the aphelion. Call them out. Turn with the orbits, spin in the dervish of celestial motion. Address the terminus of every line, again and again, until the world becomes dark. The Burning Moon! The call to the innermost circle of Nibiru! Vitali stares into the distance with a reverent gaze, his mouth curled into a smile. This is it, an audience with the end itself, and the moment of truth. Truly a time for enlightenment. This is not your personal quest for revelation, Vitali. It is simply a means to an end. Aster is visibly shaking. Cast aside your own obsessions. We need to finish our work and return those that have been stolen. We will close this breach. Mechanist Aster. Very vocally calling for others to cast aside their obsessions. Meanwhile, her own obsessions go unexamined. We're all under great strain. The hysteria of the situation is affecting us all in our own way. Caligar looks to each of her colleagues in turn. Now is not the time to stumble or to break ranks. Aye, Miss Caligar, we can wrestle with our disagreements later. The longer this goes on, the more our minds are run ragged. Atticus pats his club with his free hand. Let's just get this over with. Caw! Okay, so, what do we do with this? This is a 7 in the chapel. Well, good thing I'm prepared for this. I am prepared to handle 7s in the chapel. Who wants to do it? The doctor? Probably. Everybody else just sit tight. Hang out for a bit. Can we perform a task here? No. Tubbs doesn't match for machine room. The scales. All right. And now we have met a new resident of Nibiru. A dark melody summons me. An aspirant requests an audience. distance. The demon's image distorts as if it were deep underwater. I am the arbiter of the burning moon. I shall await your tribute and your plea. Be wiser than your predecessor. The scales casts a card to the ground. You are in between now. The path forward lies within you. The entity begins to slither into strands of fading gold. I will begin the last song. It will require all of your voices and the inner words you do not wish to speak. When it is done, I shall return to hear your petition. How endgame are we at this point? Is this, I would like to be able to pause. I would really like to be able to pause, but okay. Chapter 8. Question marks. Okay. I can't click on this until I allow time to progress a little bit more. So, okay. There it is. What has happened? The world is unraveling! Uh-oh. All the languages changed. That's new. Caligar clutches at her mask, almost dragging it from her face. The ground seethes. Everything shifts like a sea mist. The splintered boards of Highrook are mixed with the dark sands of Nibiru. It is a rapture. The veils are thinning. We are still in Highrook, but the burning moon shines down upon us. Vitali holds his hands together, almost in prayer. It is here where the worlds meet that we will triumph. You've gone mad, Vitali. Lost as that fool Acheron. Atticus shakes Vitali by the shoulders. He blinks and staggers. Have you brought that cursed isle into our world? Or are we now within theirs? I see nothing but swirling fog through the windows and ghostly ground beneath. Aster frantically rubs at her goggles. Is Black Sand still there? What does this new demon want of us? Forgive my feverish outburst. The last ritual brought us to a point between worlds. We are still on our Earth, but Nibiru is also here, like an afterimage or a shadow. Vitali stares at his companions, his face alight. We needed to do this, to thin the veils. It is only within such proximity that we can achieve our goal. Alright, well, let's, see what we can... We do have all of these seals of Nibiru that we're supposed to do something with, so that's cool. Presumably something in the Lord's Chamber, once that's opened up. Also, we have this fragment, whatever it is. Lord's Code. Alright, let's open up a Lord's Code. Capable of doing that thing. While we are here, let us engage in more thought condensation. And I'd like to condense in here too, actually, given the choice, but we only have one condenser, so it's not that easy. And we're sitting. Just sitting on the rest of this. Everybody else can sit and hang out, and there's nothing to do until the thing is done. So. Why is this shorter? Alright, well, I guess I'm not going to complain. I see. Day 21. Finished. Sure are. Gideon's Note 12. I am to cross over tonight. I cannot wait for the Seeker's assistance. They are too slow and weak. My family is in danger. I have found a hidden path, one that lay within the moon mirror. It was here all along. My predecessor, Irma Voltok, had locked it in the archives, not knowing its true use. I summoned my reflection with the relic, a dark and crooked doppelganger. He gifted me the words to follow the secret path. But then he would not leave. Even as his form faded, he attacked me. Words and fists and teeth and screaming. I fled and returned the mirror to its container. I do not need it now. I know the secret way. I will cross over tonight. I must put right what I have wrought. I shall redeem my folly. Will you? Your folly seems difficult to redeem. Within the moon mirror. Okay. Another path. So that is how Gideon entered Nibiru without breaching the circles. Vitali carefully collects the key beside the note. We must obtain this relic. It is clearly of significant power. It could offer us more leverage in our dealings with the scales. Bookish coward, running from his own shadow. Atticus surveys the scene around him. His usual confidence is clearly shaken. However, much as I despise him, it has become hard to tell what is real and what is madness. Ah, that's easy. It's all madness. And or, it's all real. Take your pick. Yes, we're on the edge of chaos. But even as the stain of Nibiru taints our world, we must keep our minds tethered. Aster grips the door handle as if to seize onto the solid and actual. The only thing that sets us apart from Gideon is an adherence to sense and reality. Sure. What the crap is this? Spectre of Simon. A ghostly vision of Simon appears. In the blurring of the worlds, it is neither here nor there. These visions can be encouraged to move, as if sleepwalking, but they fade in and out like a waxing moon. Silver key requires archives. A small shining key on a bent wire circlet. It still glints bravely, despite years of tarnish. It can open a cache from the late Irma Voltok's collection. A bizarre assortment of exotic antiques gathered in a desperate pursuit of artistic inspiration. And this... Whoa! Destroy support cards. What a jerk. And I can move it. But not out of the room. Card cannot be moved within its room, but cannot be removed from it. Increases the injury level of nearby characters every hour. Alright, well, pull the support cards away. And let's stay out of the machine room until it's done being a jerk. Since apparently I can't do anything about it. We're going to need more here before we can engage with Simon. So let's open this silver key. That has got to be Atticus or Aster's job. By Stokes. Not Atticus. Vitali. So it's got to be Aster's job. And the primer is also here to help. Great, love that. Heck yeah. And this we can't do anything. Does anybody have vows on their list? Nobody is good at vows. All right. Just like lessons. Nobody is good at lessons either. All right. Well, that leaves Kalagar and Hawk to do stone nothing? Just hang out? Yes. Yeah, it doesn't seem like anything else helps here. Leave those seals handy, but they can't really progress anything there. And I don't have anything else to work on, so keep time moving. Although we might be able to condense somewhere else to make other things potentially helpful. Like in here, we could condense these if I ever think I'm going to need them in the courtyard. Or in the well? The well seems more likely to be a place that I'm going to need to condense. So let's do some condensing in the well. We'll send Atticus to do it. Atticus never has anything better to do. And then waiting for this to finish. Uh-oh. Spectre of Gideon. A ghostly vision of Gideon appears. In the blurring of the worlds, it is neither here nor there. Alright, well, you can just hang out in the place where eventually I'll be able to do something about it. Task focus here, okay. Moon mirror. A small hand mirror, part of Irma Voltok's collection of exotic goods. Could be easily overlooked, but the reflection is not entirely canny. The blemished glass redraws the world, and elements are altered. It edits the reflection within the frame. Clouds drift when they should be still. Shadows cast where there is no sun. Curiouser and curiouser. Send the doctor after it? Yep, you can handle that. And once again, there's nothing else that I really feel like I need to be doing while I'm waiting here. So... Boon of the Mule. We could get a Boon of the Bee over here, too, while I'm waiting. Continue to condense. Let's get boons everywhere. I love boons. And then eventually we'll have something more to do. Spectre of Sophia. Great. Dr. Caligar. Oh dear. I might need to do something about this. A life of stupor and perversity. People as puppets. Bodies as bags. The sweet medication. The numbness of dislocation. Know you are cheating your own blood. Know you are gawping at others' miseries. Drink more, doctor. Lay down with your clients on the slab. Okay, well, that sucks. Can this actually be moved out of the room? No. But it interrupts the thought condensing, which extra sucks. We can overcome this entity if we can match its attributes. Yeah, but I need to finish condensing a thought in order to match its attributes. Okay. I guess I could hit the moon mirror again. Oh, that was Caligar's reflection. I see. Yeah, all right. We still need to finish this. And I guess I'll let Atticus do it. And I'm not going to hit the moon mirror until I'm positive that I have a condensation in the appropriate places. Which I do here once this Devourer disappears. So once the Devourer disappears, yeah. We'll send Aster after the moon mirror now. Which needs the tear and something else. Not the boon of the snake. You can burn the blood vessel. Or blood vial. Because that'll probably spawn something here, if I had to guess. Devourer there. Okay, well, I don't care so much about the curative algae, but I do not want you to eat my boon of the boar. Or my exotic spices. A pigeon. A pigeon? A carrier, too. Arriving here in the midst of such confusion. Strange, brave bird. Atticus attempts to pick up the bird, but it scuttles away from him nervously. There's a capsule on its leg. Someone is trying to contact us. Who would be sending us a missive now? And why use this bird? Kalagar has more luck in approaching the pigeon. I think I might be able to sedate the poor thing in the lab. Perhaps then we can get a better look at whatever it has brought to us. The lab is a little occupied right now. Alright, so there's the boon. Yes, exactly as expected. Mechanist Aster needs to deal with this. Dr. Kalagar needs to deal with this. There can be only one! Can we make somebody else do it? Actually? Yes, as long as they have the aspects for it. But we'll make Kalagar do it. I like the symmetry of that. Oh, why does it do that? Please don't do that. That hangs out here. We could send somebody else to the moon mirror. The question is where it's going to send us. Oh, we have another one of these. Spectre of Amy. Okay, well, y'all can hang out in the Lord's Chamber also. Where else do we need to condense? We have the boon of the bat. We have that boon. We don't have a boon here. So let's send somebody, probably Atticus, to condense in here. Yo, we can use the primer to condense? That's sick. And we probably want to condense up here. So what do I need to unlock more stuff here? How do I increase my secrets? Not secrets, mysteries. Tracing charcoal from here, which would be Atticus. What can Vitali do? Raven's Cap can give us Gift of the Owl. I have Gift of the Owl. That's not the problem. Focus Fern can give us Owl Tea. Scholar Vitali cannot do that thing either. Oh, I can offer the trowel. Wait, is the Raven around? Stokes! He's never here when I need him. That's okay. I can do the trowel off of... Wait, was there not a tool for the courtyard? Yo, there wasn't a tool for the courtyard. There was never a tool for the courtyard. Yeah. Okay. I locked in the wrong people on other tasks. Oh well. Alright, I guess just hang out, Vitali. Since the condenser is in use and there's not much else for you to do. I don't want you activating the moon mirror in such a way that it'll interrupt the condensation in either of these places. And I cannot send you to the archives because the archives are in use. Blech. Alright, yeah, just idle. Okay. And it turns out killing copies of ourselves produces plot. It's delightful. This finished, we now have the Boon of the Moth here. So we can send Vitali into the moon mirror. No, let's condensate over here also. Which requires, what did we say it was? Tracing charcoal comes from here. Focus Fern comes from here, so that's got to be Caligari now. Oh, we need to do something with a pigeon. The pigeon needs some other bonus. We'll get that out of here, actually. This produces a thing there. Ooh. Keep that out of your hands. Do not touch my inspirations. This should have been Aster, because I think Atticus is ready to hit the moon mirror once we have a thing. So maybe we go for whatever produces this inspiration? Does the text do it? No. Does the ritual do it? No. Does the pipe do it? No. What produces snake? Sleeping? Sleeping. This needs to be condensed. That was the other thing that needs to happen. I mean, I don't know that it needs to be condensed. That might not need to happen anymore because Aster has handled her copy. Aster and Kaligar both have handled their copies. Kaligar's shows up here, so we probably don't need to condense in the courtyard at all. I suspect Archives and Mysteries is Vitali's, so we want to have condensed in both places before we trigger Vitali. And Atticus is probably Paths and one of these two. Or maybe Secrets. Yeah, I feel like it's one of these four. It's probably Secrets and Paths, actually. Both of which already have the condense. So actually, maybe we just... Oh, I wanted to get... I wanted to not burn my boon in order to make that work. That was my deal. And you can't move now. That's fine. So how do I get boon... Gift of the Snake? From the Night Lamp, but also... No, also? No, also. How sad. Maybe we'll just send some people to sleep then. I mean, fatigue isn't super real right now, but if we need the influence, we need the influence. I guess I could also get a blood vial out of the glinting syringe. Who's low on injury? 28. It's not 28. It is 28. Man, the 8s and the 0s look close enough to each other that I constantly get confused. 15, 30. All right. And then you two, somebody needs to do condensing here? No. This has the condense. Yeah, everything that I care about for Atticus has been condensed appropriately. The mysteries haven't, so we still need to get more mysteries. That's what I'm looking for. So you're going to get me charcoal. What else do I need? What else can I get mystery out of? Gift of the Owl and Focus Fern. So let's get some Focus Fern. Which neither of you know how to dig. I've done very well here. Alright. I guess just sit idle then. Unless I want to send them to nap. I'll send them to nap. It's better than doing nothing. Oh, I should have hung on to that for a hot second. Just to... so that the Doctor and Atticus could have joined. Oh well. Damn, Circles of Torment. Fully agreed. I hate those Circles of Torment. The Devourer is over here, gonna eat my Gift of the Owl. Please don't. Aw, that's a terrible place for a Devourer. Well, there's Gift of the Snake. And there's Blood Vial, so we have options now. You go there. Catalytic Powder goes here. Tracing Charcoal would go up there, except not while somebody is eating my inspirations. the boon. Come on. Just eat the gift. Yes, correct. We can do the pigeon now, and it has to be Caligar? Anybody can do it. A pigeon is here, scratching at the boards, hoping for food. The animal's soft gray form seems out of place in the shifting gloom, and it seems to be oblivious to the nightmare around it. Something is tied to its scrawny leg. The bird flaps, too nervous for us to detach it. Perhaps if we were to sedate it first? So that can be either Aster or Caligar. What else did I feel like I needed to do? I can't do anything here yet. Everything else... Yeah, this is the only place where I need to condense. We still can't do anything with these idiots because it needs 3. And the most I can get right now is 2 with the seals. So we'll wait on that a bit. What else is helpful? Is anything else helpful? Is nothing helpful? Are no things helpful? It's possible that nothing is helpful. Certainly not impossible. This can go back up here. The storage index with the rest of the no longer useful plot device items. Presumably. Absorb 2 support cards of level 1, creating a new boon support card of level 2. Permanent support tools cannot be used in this process. Except that's a lie, because it was able to use the primer. Hold on. I want to see if it'll let me do the thing. Rec not met. Okay. It can't use the 2s, but it can use any support cards of level 1. Not that we're going to do it right now with the Devourer sitting right there. So are we just sitting? All 3 of you just sitting? Somebody needs to do something with this pigeon. Let's imagine that it's Caligari doing something with the pigeon. We wanted to go digging, so maybe Caligari goes digging, and Aster deals with the pigeon. Why did I want to go digging? Oh, I wanted Focus Fern. Focus Fern comes from the trowel. Good. The trowel is set. And Vitali, what can I have you do? Are there any other support cards that are useful to generate right now? No, you could just sit there. Just hang out, buddy. The pain. It's not that bad. Cellar map. A crumpled map, faded with age and worn with folding. It outlines the location of a crate left by the erstwhile seeker, V. Oh. The 4th circle is breached. Highrook has become wreathed in some foul mist. I tried to join you, but each time I entered, I found myself turned around. I only hope that this message finds its way through. The communion is en route. They are trying to remove any trace of their involvement or reference to their members. They have summoned devourers to the estate, immaterial wraiths that will destroy any occult energies they can find. Wow! Outside interference? You'd think the communion would be helping us here, rather than trying to cover their own asses. But perhaps I can still help. There is a crate deep in the cellars. The location is attached. It contains an item that brought me to the communion's attention. I have never forgiven myself for the way I acquired it and the path it put me on, but if it can help you now, it might form part of my own reparations with the past. Well, that's a thing that Vitali can go do. It requires 6, huh? Well, we don't need the boon of the rat to deal with that. But let's find a way to do it that doesn't burn our boon of the rat. How do I get secrets? Gift of the rat or glowing flask? Okay. I can get Gift of the Rat in a variety of ways, actually, I think. Not just from the Rusty Shovel or the Ritual Offering. Not inspiring text. Ritual Offering gets me Gift of the Rat. Does smoking get me Gift of the Rat? It does not. Boo. Okay, from Ritual Offering and the Villanelles. Perfect. That's actually helpful. That I can do. I can just do that. Aster, should I send you somewhere else? Now that we are in this situation. Yes, go fishing. Since all our fish are gone. Found some focus fern. Hey, Atticus is over here, exactly as expected. All right, Atticus. Deal with your problems. There's the Gift of the Rat. Oil Bud is helpful. Focus Fern is helpful. Focus Fern is more helpful. Can you? Perfect. You don't need to be able to. You don't need to be able to do cooking on your own, as long as the pot is there. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Ugh, identity theft. Fascinating. It's a little anachronistic, but okay. Shipping crate. A crate belonging to our mysterious benefactor, V. We will need to pry this open in the machine room to see what significant aid has been supplied. And who would like to do that thing? Not Vitali. Aster or Hawk, once they're done with whatever it is they're doing. This is close. V for Vendetta? We don't know what V's name is. We just know that they're V. Maybe it's the titular character from Cyberpunk. I mean, probably not. It's 200 years too early. But, you know, you never know. More Moonfly larvae. That's definitely not what I need. Moonfly larva can go down here with the rest of the plot things. Curative algae, also not what I was looking for. But okay. What was I going to do? I was going to do something and I don't remember what it was. I feel like this happens a lot in this game. Oh, I was going to open the shipping crate. Yeah. Resolve this plot device for me. Thank you. And Vitali is still not doing anything? Because we still haven't finished the thing over here? Do I have? I only have the gift, so we're going to need to do a condensation up there. But I'll wait till the Devourer is left. Found some plot. All right, they're gone. So we can start some condensation. I think I want to condensate the owl and the charcoal, not the tea. Send Vitali. Let's send Caligar to do it. Cool. And then if I wait a tick, I can then send Vitali at the moon mirror. And Hawk can go do something, probably. Feel like I am out of things. I guess we can try and get another Gift of the Rat down here, maybe? Ah, perfect timing. Hello, Devourer. Get out of here. Save my my influences. I can't do it anymore. The communion is more concerned with power over people than mastery of other worlds. They recruited me because of this lyre, this cursed instrument that I stole on that wet night near Hindberg. To me, it was just fensible loot, a way to buy food for a week or so. But when I took it to Joskel, someone in that shop was watching, paid eyes for the seekers. They contacted me the next day, wooed me with lodgings and food. It was the lyre they wanted, not me. After a week or so, they showed their hand. I was now beholden to them, a thief who they could hand in whenever they stepped out of line. For years, I assisted them, but no more. I will leave, go into hiding. They will not have me or this damn lyre. This is songs. Interesting. A classical curved lute. It's marbled wood, burnished gold with age. Is it a lute or is it a lyre? Maybe it's lying about being a lute. When plucked, it vibrates with a mesmeric tone. Didcot was a minstrel of the old tradition, determined to preserve the songs and tales of older times through modern performance. His shows became fashionable events for aspiring cultural connoisseurs, who praised the hypnotic quality of his playing. Ooh, that's dangerous. Over time, Didcot's fame grew, and the Conservatoire of Hindberg offered him a residency. You don't have to harp on details. Damn it. Unfortunately, Didcot was waylaid when traveling to the appointment, and his lyre was stolen. Despite being gifted instruments by some of the finest craftsmen on the Winter Coast, his star faded. He sank into obscurity, and rarely sang again in public. Alright, cool. Well, now we got a tool, and that is immediately, thunk, going to get upgraded by, I guess, you. Although I don't know how helpful that is. We haven't found a task to do over here in a while. But sure. And I don't need you. You need to not use the Boon of the Horse. Use something else. Ember Shards, Ember Liquids. Let's keep the Ember Shards and use the Gift of the Firefly. Yeah, I like that. Gift of the Mule? That's not the gift I was looking for. Okay, do it again. Give me the other one. Give me the one I wanted. Alright, there's Owl. Which means I think we're at a point where we can bring out Vitaly's. Did you not do the thing? Spectre of Gideon has shown up. Where is Vitaly's mirror? Did this finish? I'm very confused. Try again, I guess? Maybe I just didn't click the button. Pretty sure I saw it moving. But I don't see his mirror in anywhere, let alone the places that I would expect to see it. So that's extra confusing. This is still, nothing's happening there. Well, that leaves not a lot for Kalagar to do. Something here, maybe? Turn the curative algae into a thing? Turn the... Go digging? Do we need to go digging? open this random shipping crate? I don't think that matters. I guess the oil bud can be turned into something. It doesn't feel like it matters much. We could condense here, actually. That feels like maybe worthwhile. Or here? Maybe. Yeah, let's condense here. Oh, there he is. Jeez, that took a while to pop up. Well, at least he showed up in the place I expected him to. A monkey with a pistol. A cruel child playing dress-up. A desperate mannequin longing for a human feeling. No one looks your way, except in disgust. A waste of a mind. Words like smoke rings blown for the ego. Risking others to raise yourself in their eyes when they do not even want to see you. All you have are lies and ruined promises. Wretched bone dolly. Bone dolly? I don't know why that took so long to pop up. That's weird. Atticus Hawk is exhausted. Oh, okay. Well then, let's go take a nap about it. That's doable. The lyre is upgraded. Ember Wraith can be moved within its room. Okay, well, you can stay there. That's fine. That's a room that doesn't matter to me. You want to go nap. Everybody wants to go nap. The time has come for napping. My mind split. I am fragmented. Yeah, because your copy's already out. Taunting vision. Your evil twin still mocks you from a distance. The mirror laughs at you with their disembodied voice. Ugh. All right, well, stick that in storage. And everybody go take a nap. Now we have a free gift of the snake, which is exactly what I wanted. And somebody needs to take care of Scholar Vitali. And I suspect it's going to be Scholar Vitali. This increases madness level. Yeah, take care of... Fix your own problems, buddy. The Ember Wraith and the Devourer are not movable. What did we get out of here? We got the lyre? Which, like, that's cool and all, but we don't need to do anything in there right now. So, how is that helpful? I guess we could make another copy of somebody else? As long as I feel like their influences are in correct positions, which I am not convinced that's the case. Aster was well or machine shop. So those both have boons, actually. We can go do Aster again. Kaligar was substances or courtyard. So we need to condense in the courtyard. And until that's done, I don't want Kaligar to hit the mirror. We have no influences here. Oh, no. It needs to be condensed. That's the problem. Played the demo and it's pretty satisfying. Cool. You're welcome, Archmagus. Yeah, I think this game has been pretty enjoyable. So I would recommend people who like this kind of thing to play this kind of game, and this game specifically, because it's been a good ride so far. Do we really not have anything to do? Somebody's got to be condensing thoughts over here. The Devourer is causing me problems. We can send somebody fishing. I kind of like fishing here. What else did I need? I wanted more. No, these influences are here. We just need to condense them. Somebody's going to condense these. What other supports do we need to do? We've got boons. We need the substances support. What supports substances? The archives are busy. The Clifftop is busy. Raven's Cap also comes from Clifftop. But Gift of the Bee has another source, right? This gives me gifts. Hey, yep, that'll work. So Kaligar pop the ritual offering. Perfect. Aster go fishing. And Hawk condense over here. Ah, great. Tasks for everybody. My favorite. Something is happening in all the places. Uh-oh. That's a terrible place for a devourer. Please don't devour my things. Save my influences. These can go back over here, though. And somebody can condense in here later. Alright, we got a Gift of the Owl, which is great, and Gift of the Firefly, which is not the gift I was looking for, but thank you anyway. So maybe somebody needs to go digging. Maybe somebody, Dr. Kaligar, needs to go digging to get us another ritual offering. In the meantime, though, you can turn this oil bud into something useful? Sure. Boon of the Mole. Flicker Fry needs to be converted here. Slumberfish were okay. Slumberfish were okay. Tubbs is in the way again, as is tradition. And the curative algae can hang out over here, I guess. Okay, we really didn't need to go fishing. This is helpful, though. I didn't realize that was it. Okay. A song held in memory. Inner verses and chords of subconscious thought. This is the melody that summons the end of things. The notes torn from our very souls. Will those parts ever return? But we can only move forward now. The path back is shrouded in darkness and mists. Play on. Alright, this needs 6, which means it needs exactly Scholar Vitali. Yep, do that thing. The condenser has done the thing over here. We need to condense here. You're busy. You're busy. One of you two needs to condense here. And the other one can go digging, I think? Yeah, the other one can go digging. The song is complete, though it's taken its toll on us all. Vitali seems crestfallen, drained of his usual fervor. We should take this to Simon's room while the notes are still fresh in our minds. The final audience awaits. Yeah, no, I'm working on that. Machine oil, fantastic. Here. As long as you're here, convert this one too. Day 22. It is done. The scales shimmers in impossible ways. The song is sung. You have endured. Nibiru offers its reward. A golden ring drops to the floor. Its chime echoes throughout the house. There are no more words. There are no more vows. You have the seals you have won. Use them well. When they are gone, we shall become unseen once more. The scales dissipate, becoming one with the luminescence of the half-world. But wait! What does that mean? Aster is shaking, tears behind her goggles. You must free us! Free Sophia! Simon! It is gone. We are left to make the final choice ourselves. Vitali bows his head, his face almost blank. And as I feared, not enough remains for all. What does that mean? Ring of Vows. 2 interlocked circles of gold, a meeting of minds, an infinite symbol, an endless loop, a symbol of promises. This is the final mark of recognition from Nibiru, bestowed by the scales. There are no more fragments to guide us, no more notes or tools. We must make our own choices. Oh, really? What is this? Another cursed object? Another step further into the dark? Atticus looks at the ring in disgust. I thought we were done. Thought that this was the last circle, the last rite, the last demon. And now what? We are finished. The scales has given us the means we need to conclude this sad tale. Vitali collects the ring, twisting it around in his fingers. The light of the burning moon glitters from its surface. We can use this with a seal to free one of Nibiru's prisoners. But there are 4 such candidates and only 3 seals. A choice that no one should have to make, but one that I somehow face daily. Which cut is the kindest? The boy should return. He was the first victim. And the child needs his mother and father. A misguided, foolish father, but one who is clearly repentant. Perhaps he can make amends. What? How could you be so cruel, Doctor? Atticus stares in dismay at Caligar. Amy's already lost so much, and none of it her own doing. Is she to be cast aside simply because she's a servant? Amy has more right to rescue than Lord Acheron. He's done nothing but bring ruin to his family. The mechanist pushes the air aside in a dismissive gesture. Sophia has braved nightmare and turmoil to rescue her son. They should both be returned. Leave Gideon to rot in the nightmare he created. But without him, the boy will be robbed of a father. Vitali places his book down and addresses his companions earnestly. Gideon's knowledge and testimony will be part of his redemption. With his story and research recorded at Bleakhurst, we can prevent this tragedy from ever happening again. Yup. So we can free 3 of the 4 people using Ring of Vows and the various seals. But I guess we're at the point in the end game where we have to make a choice. For reasons. Kid'll be fine without his dad. How many of these characters have rock solid relations with his parents? True. There's honestly a case to be made for not returning Simon and leaving Simon in Nibiru, because I don't think we have a way to cure whatever disease Simon is afflicted with, which is why Simon is in Nibiru in the first place, right? He was put in there because it halted the movement of the disease, but we still need a way to cure him if we're going to bring him back into the real world. And I don't know that we have that. Also, I don't think I ever finished Aster's side quest. Maybe I did. Oh, The last of Sophia's blueprints is the Asker's remaining side quest thing. Okay, so I need to do this if I want to finish all the side quests, which I do. I want to finish all the side quests. Didn't I finish the side quest that said to reveal the cure after the story? Oh, so, Kaligar's side quest is not for whatever disease the kid has. It's for the plague that she wasn't able to cure the last time it hit the town. Like, she was able to mitigate some of the symptoms, but she wasn't able to find a cure for it, and a bunch of people died. But apparently the first victim of the plague was buried here, so she was able to recover that person's corpse and use those samples to put together a cure. Yes, a different weird thing, correct. So I have to make a decision here, and I am tempted to just roll a d4. I don't know. I think of all of these people, Gideon is, in fact, the least deserving of rescue. Should save? That's fair, actually. I don't think I can do separate save games, right? Like, it's just the one save. Multiple endings? Maybe. Oh, I should actually see if I could just copy the save file over. Once I'm done with Asker's thing. So let's finish Asker's thing. There's a little bit of, like, injury concerns, but otherwise no particular needs are threatening at the moment. Let me see if I can copy the save file. Let's do a little bit of Googling. Hang on a second. Horror at Highrook save location. Demo. Demo save location. That's not the save location I'm looking for. App data local low. Great. All right. Local low. Null pointer games. Null pointer exception limited. Great. There is a savedata.txt, which is probably the thing that I am looking for. There's also a player.log, which, if you weren't sure if this was a Unity game, that should tell you everything you need to know. All right, I will save this. Let's actually just copy it here. Paste. Can I? Why are you being weird about this? Just paste it as, like, save data 1. Come on. Paste it to a different folder then. Be that way. All right. I have a copy of the save file. We'll see if that lets me do the thing. So who do I leave behind? I guess for my first ending, it's probably leave Gideon behind. We'll save everybody else. This is a support thing. And then there's these seals. And literally anybody can do this. And all the seals of Nibiru, I think, are interchangeable. They all do exactly the same thing, it seems. Why does it shake like that? That's so weird. But I'm still not going to start it until after I finish this, because I want to copy over the save file after this is done. So everybody else can just hang out over here. When did you get sent to storage? Jeez. Oh, it's because I replaced the seals. Alright. All the side quests are done. An amazing device designed with such lateral ingenuity. Ether waves have long been theoretical curiosities, but this proves their existence. It's surely a breakthrough for our entire field. The results of such a discovery should offer Sophia the respect she deserves. Her mind is of a caliber that will echo down the ages with the clarity and brilliance of thought. To play even a small role in that story, I am completed. Unique prototype. A mechanist detector capable of identifying the presence of ether waves. Its delicate needle quivers at the unveiling of a hitherto hidden world. The culmination of Aster's tenacity and Lady Acheron's brilliance. From this, a mechanist legacy can be forged. Alright, cool. That hangs out down here and is no longer relevant. And then I go here. That's not where I go. I go back into the files. And we will save and exit to title. And then make a copy of the save game. Cool. So now I got to make a decision. All right, I think for my first run at this, we are going to leave Gideon behind. I think that is going to be the plan. So let's do a rescue for each of the other three. We'll start with Sophia. We'll start with Sophia. Like a hand on my shoulder, I can feel someone guiding me home. Sophia turns and smiles into the distance. Someone who cared for me once before all this nightmare. And is that Simon I can hear? Thank you out there. You will always be in my heart. Oh, that's a lot of madness, actually. What just hell just happened? Yeah, maybe not hanging out in the rooms with all of the specters. Send, somebody else for Amy. But we'll go rescue Amy now. So I got an achievement for rescuing Sophia, which means that by restoring the save file, I can get all of the achievements, I guess. I can hear someone calling my name. From back in the real world? Amy picks up her skirts and turns. Maybe it's the old man. But no, he's gone. Could it be the voice of my dear old mum? Maybe it's time for me to go back to Black Sands, talk to my aunties, find out who I really am. Whoever you are, thank you. You've got a little bit more madness, and let's bring out Simon now, wherever he is. I guess I gotta wait for Simon to respawn. And Gideon can stay in Nibiru. Have a good time out there, buddy. The sun is rising. It feels warm. A golden light shines on Simon's face from somewhere between worlds. I can see the gates in the garden. I can hear Mama's machines whirring. Can I really go back? Can I? I hope the fire is lit and Tubbs is curled up there. I hope Pa isn't upset anymore and Mama is smiling. We can all sit in the courtyard and listen to the birds again. I have bad news about your Pa, buddy. Does it matter who rescues who? No, I think it's collective. It sure seems that way. There wasn't, like, there might have, so there are certain relationships, like the mechanist Aster with Sophia and Atticus with Amy, but they're not all one-to-one, and it seems like no matter who does the rescue, the dialogue references any of the information that matters. Like, Sophia referenced, you know, someone who once cared for me, even though Aster wasn't the one doing the rescue. The Closing Eye. A rite of returning. A chant to seal the gates of Nibiru behind. Draw a square within a square, twisted to form an octagram. At each vertex, scribe the compass heading, and within the center, spread a mound of fresh earth into a flattened bed. With finger lines in soil, mark the 4 circles of Nibiru. Walk the points in an outer circle path, reciting the coda of Valhassa at each compass point. Lie upon the earth and sleep, counting the stars of the burning moon. Sorry. We can make no more requests of Nibiru. We have used all our tokens of recognition. What is done now. Vitali looks sorrowful, yet relieved. Thank you, my friends, for countering my overeager mind. And now just one more ritual. A chant to close the breach. And not a moment too soon. I fear that our party is on the brink of collapse, both mental and physical. Kalagar nods slowly. Yes, we will all need some rest and recuperation after our return. I got some business to attend to. After that, I might sink a few pints in the lobster and pot. Atticus pauses and clears his throat. Perhaps you'd like to join me, good doctor. Unlike you, I will have no time for frivolity. I must write up the report on this incident for the Venatus archives. Aster takes a step back, hands on her hips. And then I need to take some time to attend to a few things I've avoided for too long. Like frivolity? Like Sophia? Alright, and then this is end the game, I think? If I had to guess. The rite of returning? Alright, let's end the game. The circle is closed. It's done. A new dawn awaits. Let's go home. Wow. Okay, going into Nibiru was not this elaborate. This is kind of wild. The events at Highrook went largely unreported by the Black Sands press. The High Council released little information concerning the investigation or its findings. But within a week, the order to condemn Acheron Manor was issued by Mayor Alliston, and the civilians were barred from the vicinity of the house. The investigators and their guilds were briefly lauded, and then returned to their old lives, with new stories to tell and new ambitions to pursue. The members of the Acheron household that survived re-entered the city as quietly as they could, craving a time of rest and recuperation. That survived? Wow. Implying that, that Gideon, if left in Nibiru, doesn't survive, or whoever left in Nibiru doesn't survive? Oh, okay. So we get one of these for each of the people we rescue, and we're missing one of them. Sophia Acheron was hailed as a hero on her return, the papers praising her ingenuity and resilience. Although traumatized by the events at Highrook, having Simon at her side bolstered Sophia's determination to return to her own studies and inventions. Ooh. What happens if we don't rescue Simon? Oh, now I'm curious. She often spent her evenings in the company of Jane Astor, discussing the events at Highrook and formulating scientific theories on the occult. In this way, she made peace with the past, but she never forgave her husband for his arrogance and folly. Simon's affliction returned with him to Black Sands, but it did not kill him. Eventually, the curse faded, but the dark spiderweb traces it left upon his skin led him to adopt a reclusive lifestyle. Even with his mother's support, he remained withdrawn from society. But during the isolated years of his adolescence, he became a prolific painter, producing many strange and otherworldly vistas. His haunting canvases soon became sought after by museums and collectors. But however many dreams he drew, he could never rid himself of the nightmares that inspired them. Okay, so what if we don't rescue his mom? Like, what if it's Gideon, Simon, and Amy? Does this change? Presumably. Amy was welcomed back to Black Sands by her extended family, and Alfred's death was mourned by the locals, who smiled when remembering his clumsiness and compassion. In time, she learned lace-making from her aunties and joined a company in Verdun Row. Here she found both financial independence and artistic recognition for her detailed yet often disturbing designs. She is still visited by Atticus occasionally. His hulking figure is at odds with the filigree of the workshop, but his honest words are always welcome. Ah, and then the results of the side quests. Okay. Building upon the technical revelation she uncovered at Highrook, mechanist Jane Astor became responsible for shepherding in a new era of etherwave technologies. Often seen as outlandish, or even dangerous, these technologies changed lives and founded new futures. It was through Astor's promotion and propagation of this new science that Sophia Acheron's legacy was secured. New students in the decades to come would know her name, study her designs, and learn her equations. Inspired by Vitali's writings in the years following the events at Highrook, a group of Black Sands academics banded together to study sleep and dreaming, eventually founding the Institute of the Subconscious Mind. Ah, the ISM. We love those. Vitali, the honorary dean of this new school, slowly perfected the art of tangible dreaming, and began to sleep for longer and longer periods. In old age, he woke and engaged with the world for just a few hours each day. Those who knew him in those years remarked that the tempers of his youth had finally faded, and he always slept with a smile on his face. That's good. He should smile more. I'm sure he'd be happier. 6 months after leaving Highrook, Dr. Alice Caligar discovered a cure for the ash plague, finally ridding herself and the city of its lingering shadow. Thereafter, she became a prolific epidemiologist, developing cures for a wide range of terrible diseases. The health of the whole realm was improved by her work, and even in old age, she was said to have done more in each week of her work than other doctors achieved in a lifetime. Wow, that's excessive. The disease archive she established before her death remained intact for generations, saving the lives of thousands, perhaps even millions of people. Good. after the events at Highrook, Atticus Hawke somehow found the money to build a grand house with a garden in Direwich. But his newfound wealth did more than secure a good life for himself. A year later, he founded the New Dockland Fraternity, a labor union, which pulled vagabonds out of criminality and rescued the desperate from poverty. Previously derided and demonized by the Black Sands establishment, Hawke soon became a prominent and famously oppositional member of the city elite. Good. Yeah, somebody needs to be an oppositional member. That's probably accurate. Before long, interest in the events at Highrook began to fade, and newspaper gossip turned to focus on other topics. But for unknown reasons, the order to demolish Acheron Manor was never executed. The shadowy form of Mr. Tubbs still stalks the estate, and the crumbling ruins of Highrook House peer down from the cliffs, like a dark bird watching over the city. And that's it, I guess. Is there a New Game Plus? I don't know what a New Game Plus would look like. I also don't think there's much replay value in this game, which is a little surprising to me. Usually games like this are like, oh yeah, you can take another path or go for a different goal or whatever, but this really doesn't feel like there's gonna be much there that'll be different, right? Kinda did all the things. If I hit continue, what happens? Where does that put me? Do I have an autosave from the previous position, or? Ah, yeah, okay. So it loads the save from before I rescued anybody. That's good. And I have the prototype. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Okay, so now we can do the same thing and just leave Simon behind and see what happens. Yeah, we're just gonna leave Simon behind and rescue everybody else. So Aster gets to rescue Sophia, because that's important. Yeah, this dialogue isn't changed, regardless of who does the rescue. Atticus can rescue Amy. And now we're just waiting for Gideon to show up. Hand of forgiveness. I will accept, though I do not deserve it. Gideon bows his head solemnly. I only hope that I might be able to atone somehow, and that my family will permit me some degree of redemption. Your skills have outshone us all. Thank you. Yeah, nothing has changed so far, but I'm sure the ending sequence will see Gideon's thing. And maybe there'll be a difference in Sophia's dialogue because we rescued Gideon and not Simon? members of the Acheron household. Yeah, this is agnostic, right? The members of the Acheron household that survived. Lord Gideon Acheron spent 2 years under house arrest at Senville Square. He accepted his sentence with good grace and worked with both the High Council and Bleakhurst College to create a comprehensive report of the incident at Highrook. The indecent at Highrook. This game needs an editing pass. This process led to the arrest of several high-ranking seekers and the recovery of multiple stolen relics. After he was released, he remained with the college, continuing to document his experiences as a warning to any that might choose to follow. He spent the rest of his life trying to repair the damage he had done. Ooh, this is really different. Although Sophia Acheron was hailed as a hero on her return to Black Sands, she rejected such praise. Without Simon's presence, the escape from Nibiru felt hollow and pyrrhic. However, over time, and with the support of Jane Astor, she found some peace by returning to her own work and research. On misty evenings, she would walk to the edge of the city and gaze up at her former estate, perhaps still hoping to see her son step out of the shadows. Oh, okay. This is the same. And I suspect all 4 of the other things are going to be the same as well. Maybe this one would be different if we didn't rescue Sophia? Who knows? But yeah, the rest of this looks the same. Okay. Yeah, I'm curious enough to see what happens if we don't rescue Sophia. Hit this button one more time. Rescue everyone but Simon's mom. Since Gideon or Amy, I think, don't actually change don't change the rest of the sequence, I think. Like, Simon and Sophia both have ending dialogues that reference each other, but Amy's seems to be standalone, and Gideon's seems to be standalone as well. Who has the lowest madness right now? 10, 10, 10. Okay. So we'll rescue not Sophia this time and see how that goes. Yeah, we will rescue Amy, though. Sorry, Sophia. So Simon's dialogue, I'm actually expecting to be different as well. We'll see what happens there. Oh, I'm glad that continuing the old save file just works like this, as opposed to needing to swap save files around. That's good of them. They're not intending you to need to play through the whole thing again in order to see the different ending. Acheron under arrest. This is unchanged. This is mostly unchanged, actually. This sentence here, this paragraph specifically, previously referenced with the support of his mother, but otherwise is mostly the same. During his adolescence, he remained withdrawn from society, and in this isolation, he became a prolific painter. So either way, he becomes a painter, and this mostly doesn't change. All right. So I guess Sophia's is the only one that changes drastically depending on whether or not you rescue Simon. And otherwise everything is pretty much the same with like minor dialogue changes. This actually, I was kind of expecting this to be a little bit different. But Aster's is the same regardless of whether or not Sophia gets rescued. Okay. And then everything else is the same? Okay, cool. Well, I guess that's that. I don't really think that there's much more that I feel like I need to do here. I feel like I accomplished all the things I intended to accomplish and saw as much of the content as I care to. And it doesn't really seem particularly replayable. I think there is some interest to me as like a randomizer, if anybody like started trying to do randomizer things with this game. I think there's a lot of different components that could come together in kind of a neat way. But yeah, I actually suspect that this would work better as a randomizer than some of the more open-ended card games, just because there is a clear goal that you have to get to. That's interesting. I wonder if that's worth like thinking about and putting together. Not that I am actually going to spend any effort on modding a game, because I don't have the attention span, honestly, to work on a project like that. But, that would be a neat thing to do. Yeah, not a bad quality for a game to just be done. I think I respect that, right? They told the story they intended to tell. The mechanics were engaging enough on the way up there, and it doesn't need to be more than that. And that's cool, right? Like, that's cool. That's good. We're good. But yeah, it was definitely a fun play to get through to that point. And I had a good time with it, so, you know, it did what it was supposed to. Did what it said on the tin. But yeah, I guess that's gonna be it for the horror at Highrook. I guess in theory we have another hour or something of stream. But I think maybe we just call it here. And that'll be it. And then I'm not spending like an hour on something random. I don't know what I would spend it on. Yeah, I think I'm happier just calling it and ending it here and not trying to do anything else with the time we have left. But good stuff, horror at Highrook. Would recommend. Enjoyable. But yeah, I guess that's gonna be it for tonight though. So